Hey, in this video I want to continue with my low poly head. So I brought it into Substance Painter, and this is the paint that I have so far. So in this tutorial, or in this video, I would like to create a kind of like an alien symbol or a sign on this creature and make it glow. So that would be, I think, a really cool texture effect, especially in the game engine like in Unity. It would be so cool to have this character glow, especially if he's like a dark area, like a cave or a place that's not well lit. His forehead would actually glow. So I think that would be really cool. So let's go see what it would take to do that. So here I am in Substance, and this is what I have. And you can see all of my layers. So just to give you a quick overlook, if you want, I can show you how I have this broken down. So I have the lips, and I did that with two different colors, kind of a dark red and a lighter color on top, just to make it a little more interesting. Then I have the additional dark area inside the ears, just kind of actually hiding some of the normal and ambient occlusion imperfections. And that works out well because that area should be a little darker, right? Then I have the hand-drawn eyebrows, and when I did the eyebrows, I actually did just black paint with a height and a normal settings turned on my brush. So that created that, and then I just took the eraser and just kind of erased these spots here to make it a little more interesting, a little more kind of a alien or unusual, right? For the eyes, I have a folder here. I gave them kind of yellow eyes, and then I made like a little shadow that goes all the way around to give a little more depth. And I also added kind of a yellow spots behind the kind of a black cat, almost like a cat eye, right? So these are the pupils. Just simply paint right over the geometry, so there's nothing too fancy. I do have a normal fix, so I just created a couple fixes on my during my baking that happened, and then I just assigned a bone material to in my smart materials here in Substance Painter. You have by default something that's called bone Stylized, I believe. If not, I might have downloaded that actually from the Substance source. So I don't know, really sure, but I just simply dragged that on there. So that looks pretty cool. For the scar in ZBrush, I made kind of a indent in there, so it's actually part of the geometry. And in here, I just simply went with the dark color inside the actual crevice and then created kind of normal. I just simply painted normal map right over it. So that kind of gives an illusion of maybe a battle scar or something like that. And for the skin, there's just a few things going on, but I also used the same actually bone material because I really like how it highlights certain parts of the character. And then I just added a little red on top to kind of make the skin a little more warm looking. So just a few tricks, but if you really look at my layers, it's pretty basic stuff. All right, so now to add the glow in Photoshop, I created this doodle just with my iPad. Actually, I used Procreate, and I just created this symbol that doesn't mean anything, but I thought it'd look kind of alien looking, right? All right, so here's my symbol, and what I need to do next is actually add a black background to it. So I'm going to add a make sure it's actually black. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to save this as a alien symbol.psd. I'm going to say save. Now let's jump back into Substance Painter. All right, so here I am in Substance Painter. So the next step I'm going to do is say File, Import Resource. I'm going to add my resource and grab my PSD and say Open. I'm going to set it as an alpha. and I'm going to set it just for this project and say import. And here you are, you can see the symbol show up. Next, what I need to do is actually create a new paint layer. And I'm gonna hold down. Now I need to, once I created the paint layer, I actually need to choose the emissive channel, which I don't yet have. So let's go ahead and add that. I'm gonna go to my channels and say emissive. And as soon as I press it, look over here, a little button shows up. So now I can hold down the Alt key and click it. That gives me the emissive channel. Now I can choose the color that I want the glowing to be, maybe kind of an electric blue. And now let's go ahead and call this glow. I'm going to right click and say black mask. And once I've done that, all I need to do now is just simply grab my alien symbol alpha that I just imported and drag it onto my layer here. And you can see it shows up right here in my brush. And now if you hold on the control key, you can actually spin this around and figure out how you like your alpha to be painted. But in my case, I want something like this. So I'm just going to stamp his forehead just like that. And I think that looks pretty cool and very alien looking, at least to me. So I'm happy with this. Now what I would like to do is actually make it look like it's glowing. So to do that, I'm going to come here, and let's go ahead and turn on glare, and I need to turn on bloom, right? And I also need to come here, and let's go ahead and pump the emissive intensity up. So something like that is really cool. And if we go back here, we can actually play with some of these settings as well. So I think that looks really awesome. And if I wanted to, I can also control the color of this, right? So maybe it's even better if it's like a green or an orange. Maybe this color actually complements his eyes a little better. But again, that's just a matter of preference. So play around and see what works for you. I kind of like this. I think this is really cool. And that's pretty much it for this video. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.